Hey guys, today we are 54 days out from the new year. 54 days left in 2025. So we want to talk to you about, instead of waiting till the 31st or the 1st or the 10th to get all those New Year's resolutions together, what are the top 5 things, habits that you can start improving now to improve your life and get into a better momentum phase? So when you do those New Year's resolutions,
it could be revolutionary.
You're already like in mid-season form, or you're already in momentum and half stride when you start writing those out. So 5 better habits to start improving your life.
Well, I really like it starting a little now, which, just saying, it's crazy that we're like 54 days. It's like 6 weeks and 6 days till Christmas or something like that.
Where did September and October go?
I feel like where'd the year go? We say this every year. Like, can we please slow down the time? Father Time, please slow it down.
Yes.
But, you know, when we talk about having these things going into starting now, so when you start at the 1st, you're not one of those people that, like, we all know those people starting January 1st, the gym is packed. You can't get on a treadmill. You can't get on an elliptical. Every Stairmaster is
Jenny
taken.
Craig is sold out.
Everything is packed. But then, like, February, middle February, March, it's empty again. The same people that you were there before are still showing up because they're the same consistent people.
It's so true.
It's so true. So starting these little habits now, and they're not like crazy things to start incorporating to change your life like dramatically, but just little things to get your mind better, to start your day better, to just overall kind of go into the trend of being that 1% better every day like we talk about.
And I love Rob Dial, where we got this video idea from, and because he talks about doing it in daily iterations, not like a huge sweeping change, which, you know, like you change the wallpaper from pink to white overnight. And we all try to do that, fad diets, other things, going too big and getting hurt or too sore to work out. Tons of examples of that. But he says, look, just
try to make 100 calls in one day because somebody said making calls works, and then all of a sudden you make 100 and you're like, oh, calls don't work.
Give me 5 calls a day for 3 months, right? And then you'll ease into an acclimation. So he's a big proponent of weaving it into your daily so that it becomes part of who you are, not just something that you do. Because you will abandon something that you do because you can say, doesn't work, tried that.
Yeah,
and then you can feel all high and mighty about it because you gave it a shot. You gave it a college try, but try it every day for a year, and then let's talk.
We say give everything 4 seasons. We always say that. Give everything 4 seasons. Give it a year. Give it 60 days. Allow your body to start adjusting to this new habit, this new technique, before you just throw in the towel. And so many of us, I mean, to get into the analogies, are like that 3 feet from gold. We quit right before we're right there because it's like, oh, this isn't working. I've tried it for 2 weeks. I'm not seeing any results. I go to the gym once, no 6-pack. This isn't working.
I send out 1,000 postcards. Nobody called. Postcards don't work.
They don't work. So, you know, going into tactics. Yes, getting into tactics. First and foremost, I know we talk about this a lot, but we're huge proponents of it because it's changed our life completely by having a solid morning routine. We have to be selfish with our mornings to be selfless with our days. I say that all the time because we have to get our minds right, because when we wake up, we talk about it all the time. All we're thinking about is ourselves. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm hungry. I'm tired. All the other things that come involved. So we have to take care of ourselves first before we can get out there and serve anybody else.
I love that's your line, is selfish with the morning to be selfless with the day. And we do. We need to be selfless with the day if we want to be good human beings, if we want to be good parents, good salespeople, good friends. We got to show up and be able to listen, be able to get into their needs and get out of ourselves. And if, you know, I wake up hungry, horny, lonely, tired, and thinking about me and what I need. And therefore I am miserable because I have the delta between where I want to be and what I have. And it gives me the perception of lack. And then we have a morning priming session and then we get grateful. It's like, I look at the things that I have, then it gives me like pause and it gives me peace and gives me comfort. It's like, whoa, I've come a long way. I've got food in the fridge. I got gas in the tank. I got people around me that love me. I've got it pretty good.
Yeah. So I would think if you don't have any morning routine, starting with just something simple, right? Like going on a 10-minute walk in the morning, moving your body, trying to get quiet for a couple minutes in the morning, like starting smaller iterations of doing something for yourself. And then you can grow onto that. Like I think of our routines. It started pretty much with like just working out for me. And now it's grown into like, now I read my daily Stoic every morning. Now I make sure I drink a whole thing of water. Like, as silly as that is, it's not like I just take a couple sips. It's like I make sure I drink a whole thing of water right when I wake up in the morning. You know, I make my bed first thing in the morning. So it has all these little things that have accumulated to now where my morning after it starts, I'm like feeling pretty decent with my day. I'm like, okay, we can go into the day.
You could wake up a little tweaked, and then you go through your morning thing, and you arrive out the other side better. I don't know what percentage better, but definitely not tweaked anymore.
No, I mean,
at least willing
to be. It could be from like a negative to at least like a 1, you know?
Yeah, -2 to as thick as 7, maybe, right? I don't have to be a 12 every day. I don't. I'm not a 12. I'm not a 10 even, but I can get to like an 8.
I think you're a 10, right?
Oh, thanks, yeah. But whatever, like, I mean, and look, meditation, that could just be box breathing. Yeah. It could be a couple deep breaths. Learn something every day, whether it's a podcast while you're walking and moving your body, or a book. I read 10 pages a day. Like, make it yours. And look, we didn't invent this stuff. No. There's Ed Milet, there's Miracle Morning, there's Rob Dial. There's a million places you can go.
There's tons of science and stuff behind it of why this is important.
I like sweat before a screen. You know, I like, and look, the more and more we allow the digital to run our lives, we will be run by those digital things.
We'll get into that.
Oh, okay. So number 1, control your mindset, prime the mind, and there's all kinds of derivations of that. But we suggest, you know, move the body, move the mind, move the spirit. So, and not all woo-woo like Jesus stuff, but just like breathe, deep breathing. Get in touch with your internal game, because it's in there. And if you ignore it, it doesn't mean it's not there. So that's what I would recommend.
When you, like you say, try to quiet the voices in your head, try to get quiet. There's voices in your head. Like, it is very hard. When you try to get quiet, you hear all of that chatter and you go, oh, I forgot to do this and this has to go. Like, when you try to actually minimize that, it is really hard. And when you can get to a point where you can think the thought and just let it go, that is pretty changing. Like, that's huge, because then you start to become in control of your thoughts, and the only thing we know that we can really control is our actions, our attitudes, and how we react to things. So
well said.
Like,
excellent.
Which leads us into number 2, though.
No.
That leads us perfectly.
Okay,
into
what's number 2? Number 2,
taking ownership for our things that we're starting to, you know, like, if things aren't going our way, not being the victim on things, and starting to have that little shift of like asking ourselves better questions when things are like, oh, of just like me to be late again, or I'm always running late. Well, how can I get better at this? How can I adjust my time blocking to get better at this? Things like that.
Well, what he says is be the CEO of your life, right? So if a business goes and this company's in this growth pattern and then it goes to the shits and goes belly up and files bankruptcy, who do you blame?
Who's responsible? The CEO.
So if at the end of your life you're not happy and experiencing contentment and fulfillment, who's to blame?
Exactly.
Right? So like, okay, I'm broke all the time. Check your spending habits. I'm overweight and can't lose weight. Check your eating habits. How do you move your body? Like, it's a little tough, because you got to look at the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror and be real and get real with the fact that, look, I have to take extreme ownership. It's a wonderful book by Jocko Willink and Laith Babin. Awesome. Totally recommend it. This is a Navy SEALs take on extreme ownership. But he says take ownership, because most of the things we suffer from is of our own making. And that's a bitter pill. Like, getting real with
hard.
it. That's hard. But
the horse pill to swallow.
It doesn't mean it's not true.
Right. Well, I think of going to the Tom Ferry Success Summit this year in August. As harsh as it was, he started this summit with, we cannot keep blaming the market. We cannot say it's the market. We have to look at ourselves, and we have to look at what are our activities, what are our outreach, how many conversations, what are we doing about it? And that's how he started. Like, he started it as pretty grim of like, it's not the market, it's you. And I feel like that's so relevant for what we're going through, because we talk to so many agents, and a lot of it is the market right now. And what do we ask them when they say, well, the market's just really tough? We say, well, what are you doing? What are your actions? What are your activities right now to stay in it? That is our first question we ask. And what's the answer normally?
Nothing.
I'm pretty frozen right now. I don't know what to do. What should I be doing?
Which, congratulations, you're human.
We're human. We go through that same thing.
Absolutely.
We go through that same thing and that same, but we're hearing that a lot right now. And so that's really what we come into, it's like, well, what can we change about it? What actions can we take? Another line I love to say is like, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And this is what we're choosing. So we gotta start taking responsibility for ourselves. And another thing Rob says a lot that I love is like, we gotta be the author of our life and stop being the victim. Because so many of us love to blame, because it's great when we can blame externals, right? When I can point to something and be like, well, it's that. It can't be me because I'm amazing. Like, it can't be my fault.
Well, and the mind, the ego wants to justify because it wants to stay in existence. But
it wants to stay safe.
The tendency is say, the world's out to get me. That guy screwed me. Like, right?
Yeah.
And that's the tendency. We resist ownership. We resist responsibility. But when we can get there and we can look, and usually if I'm suffering, it's as a result of the decision I made or the way I behaved. Straight up. We are here as a compilation wherever we are in life as a direct result of the decisions we've made up to this point.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just real. That's not me. That's not my judgment. That I have to do this with myself and own my shit. And then we can say, and I was really, really a big benefit to be in the core training, because when the market would shift and there was no allowance of blaming the market, you just did double greatness trackers.
Yeah.
So that's double the calls, double the leverage events, double the people that you see, double the break breads. And it's like, okay. So there was an immediate response is my production is down. So the only way I can hedge that is I need to up my metrics and the production will come up. Well, I have to hedge with my behavior, essentially.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we did during 2021, 22, when rates started to go up.
23.
We looked at each other and we went, gotta double down. Like, it's that time right now. We gotta, and that's what we were telling agents to do. That's what we were telling our other ancillary business partners to do, other vendors. We were like, you have to double down right now. And for as much as it sucks because the scoreboard's not lightening up and it's not like deals are falling from the sky like it was 6 months ago, we have to double down because we have to make up for that in some way. And I would much rather be doing things and feeling busy than being like, what's happening? We talk about that all the time because we see shifts everywhere. Every 6 months right now, it feels like there's a shift in the market.
Exactly.
So,
the new normal is no normal.
Yeah.
Like, change is the only constant. So find your terra firma in your activities that move the needle in your business and scale up or down appropriately. Because if next year it starts falling from the sky and you get 16 listings and 15 buyers, you might have to pull back in order to service the business, right? If we have 700 purchases coming through the pipe, like, we're going to have to read some prelims and do some real servicing, and we may not be able to bang as much the phones. But right now, we don't have that issue. We can do a lot of outreach, and we do. Yeah. And that's our response. So we have become conditioned, thankfully, to when things change, we condition our behavior, not because we're perfect, but because we bought into systems. We buy, and the systems work, right? Yeah. So numero tres, what are we dealing with?
Do it now.
Oh, wait. Okay. So the thing happening, and then my acceptance of the thing happening, that is the length of my suffering, right? So if I wait and I sit on it and I get miserable and I isolate and I alienate and I just suffer more and more. And eventually I come around to accepting it and doing something about it. So what Rob talks about is, if it takes less than 5 minutes, do it right now.
Well, something else that I really love, we're reading the Mel Robbins Let Them book, and she has another book that was out previously, but it was like her 5-3-2-1 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 theory. I was like, wait, I said that really fast. I gotta make sure I said that right.
It's okay, we're not in math.
Speak in cursive? What was that?
That's advanced calculus.
But, and that's really like when there's something that you don't want to do. Like, we all have those things, whether it's the laundry, the dishes in the sink, making those calls you really don't want to make. We have that. And it's just one of those things where it's like, when you don't want to do it,
taxes is one for me. And I don't think I'm alone in that, but yes, taxes.
I was telling Ryan, I was like, for something that like I really didn't want to do, when I just did it, I didn't even have to do it. I paid somebody to do it. It took them 15, 20 minutes to do. And they sent me an invoice and I was like, oh, that was really easy to get done. It's just one of those things. Oh, but it was one of those things that I did. I procrastinated. The fees got higher, and I was like, shit, I just have to do this. And it was a day where I had a time, and I just
this is really
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, doing it, calling the guy, sending him my tax stuff.
Thank you for sharing that and for being vulnerable. But the longer you waited, how big did that monster in your head get?
Oh my God, it was like an everyday thing. It was like, shit, I gotta do my taxes. And then there's other things that I want to do, and I can't can't do it until I get my taxes done.
Right.
So it's like, I got to get them done.
And that's what we do. We build it up, whether it's the laundry that needs to be folded or the 15 calls I want to make to my sphere of influence or sending off the 1003 or whatever it is. Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get it done.
Just do it.
Just do it. And it's a really good rule. If it's not going to take less than 5 minutes, you know, like wiping down the counter and leaving the bathroom better than I found it or what have you, getting into a workout. The hardest part for me is getting on to the Peloton. Like the Peloton's my jam. Once I'm on, I can stay there a long time. It's getting on it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shoes on, get on, let's rock.
Yeah.
So
if you find yourself that's you, where you overthink, you procrastinate, you wait for the perfect time of when my desk is perfect to make those calls, maybe that could be something you start incorporating into this going into the New Year's of like, I'm just going to start doing things that I know I need to do right when I need to do it.
Perfect example, holiday shopping. How many of us procrastinate holiday shopping?
You just reminded me I should probably start.
5, 4, 3. I mean, look, you can. Most of the stuff's online.
Yeah.
And it could take 10 minutes, and you could have most of your immediate family done. Maybe a half an hour.
Yeah.
Do it. We got 54. How many days till Christmas was it?
54. Wait, 6 weeks and 6 days. 50. No,
7 Fridays.
Yeah. 7 Fridays.
8, including today. We're filming on a Friday.
You do the math.
Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up 49. On this one, which is the do it now rule, is the mind suffers from open loops.
Oh my gosh, we hate open loops.
Open loops. That's where a really satisfying like Netflix show or a really good speaker opens up a bunch of loops in the beginning of the talk, and then at the end they come back and close them. Or a comedian will do callbacks.
Yeah.
The reason callbacks are so great and satisfying from a comedic standpoint is because they open the loop and then they come back and close it by making a punchline that goes way back to the beginning of their repertoire, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I think of like if you're reading a book. Have you ever read a book and it says first this, and then it goes, and then it will say like first we're going to talk about second, and then it will go over first, and then it never reaches second, and you're like, they never closed the loop. The entire book.
I'm still stressed out from. Like, I think Tim did that. Timothy Grover did that in Winning.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I need the loop closed.
The loop was never closed. And so our mind, we hate open loops. If we know we have to get to something that we're not getting to, it's going to drive us crazy.
So what Rob was saying with the small shit, don't close those loops. Kill open loops. So like, I gotta send that thank you note. I gotta send that email. The easy stuff.
I think of all the tabs like on the computer,
oh my
you know,
God. And
like all the tabs
and here
in
I
your
am
head.
buffering. I'm just buffering.
All the tabs in your head. Start closing them. All the ones on your iPhone. Close them down.
And you know what happens with each little thing you do? How you do the little things is how you do the big things.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For sure.
So the better you get at these little things, you close those loops, you start closing the loops on some big things like getting your taxes done, like saving for a down payment, like things that are big in life, like being a better parent, showing up at all the things. So the do it now rule is hugely beneficial, and you can start doing it now before 54 days when it's the new year and we're like, what should I do for my New Year's resolution?
And then you say next year I will get presents on time.
So, you know, I was chatting, I was using chat in this for this video in my research, but then I realized I need to draw hard boundaries with technology. Isn't that number 4?
We're leading us into number 4.
Oh,
I mean, chat's great. We love our chats.
Yeah.
But I think like you said earlier, sweat before screen. Not waking up and looking at your phone first thing in the morning. We all get, trust me, I know, I doom scroll sometimes. I got Netflix on, it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm doom scrolling and I'm like, oh, I catch myself usually, but I'm like, I just stared at my phone for 15 minutes. Then I have to go rewind what I was watching because I didn't pay any attention. I'm
guilty.
Like,
We're
all guilty of that. But we really, I mean, we know that staring at the screens, being on our phones, those kind of things are not healthy for us 24/7. I mean, we can look at the younger generation and just like kind of see it already happening.
Yeah, I got 13-year-olds in the house and I have to constantly hedge against it.
Oh my gosh, we were just talking about this.
Brain rot is real.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. When we were kids, like we literally played till the streetlights went on. Like my dad and mom had a rule, like no play day Mondays. Like Mondays were the day to get things done, get your homework done, get on task for the week.
The video you sent, we are the last generation born in the 80s and 90s of going up and ringing the doorbell and saying, can Susie come out to play?
I remember my neighbor, we lived in a cul-de-sac and we all were the same age as kids and we'd knock on each other's doors like, hey, can you come out and play? And we had the Razor scooters and the Foursquare drawn out in the cul-de-sac and the basketball court and we were always outside playing. And if we wanted to do video games, what? You had to be at the person's house.
Yeah.
And it was like Madden, Tony Hawk, like, you know, those games where if you lost, you passed the controller over.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it went.
Well, and there's so much overstimulation. There's so many negative neurochemical, biochemical things we could get into. We could go all day. There is a great book I read that helped me, and it's called How to Break Up with Your Phone. Look it up, Amazon it. It's amazing. And it will at least give you boundaries, because look, this is a camera, this is a level, this is a recorder, everything is on this computer that we hold in our hands. So there's very, very small likelihood you're going to be able to avoid it, but put boundaries around it.
Yeah, well, I know, and I know my team knows this, something I do. If I take my dog on a walk in the afternoon, I don't take my phone. It takes me 15, 20 minutes to take her on a quick walk around the block.
I love that.
And I put my phone down because I don't need it for 15 minutes. No earth-shattering thing is going to happen in 15, 20 minutes.
If a meteor hits...
there has been one time I came back to my phone and I was like, of course Ryan needed me, like right when I went on my walk.
Somehow we survived,
yes,
right?
we figured it out. But like, that's where I take a break during the day for at least 15, 20 minutes, like not a crazy amount of time. But I put my phone on the charger, I put it on the desk, and I take my dog out the walk. I go get some sun for a minute because we're constantly on these things. We have to have a time away from mom.
If I'm working out, I don't have it.
No.
If I'm at dinner with my wife, I don't have it. And, you know, we take time to look around the restaurant. It's sad.
What's everybody doing?
Yeah. So, and look, we're not better. We're not worse. We just are. And this is some ways that we're dealing with it, is setting boundaries around tech. I think it's important. I think
one of the best things that for me, I mean, I don't know if it was good or bad with marketing. We could talk about it on a different level, but like, I never got TikTok, and like, I never got into that. And I have so many friends they send me TikTok videos all day, every day. And I have to remind them, I don't have TikTok.
Good for you.
Like,
I am, but I post and go. Like,
I can't see these videos. And they're like, can you please just get TikTok to watch the videos we send you? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna open that can of worms.
Like Instagram's enough.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and like even with Facebook, I'm like, oh. But Instagram's enough. Like I don't need any more places for me to go to watch videos to overstimulate myself.
So I can hear the audience saying, but Ryan, we post about our business on Instagram. It's one of the biggest sources of business. Cool.
We do too.
Be a creator, not a consumer. I go in, I post, I story, I post, I comment, I get out. Less than 30 minutes a day on Instagram, easy. Yeah. I never hit my alarm. My alarm's set. And there are alarms to tell you, hey, you spent 30 minutes on Instagram. Yeah. You should be done. And you can set it for 15 minutes, an hour, whatever. I never hit my alarm because I go, I post, I put a story. I like your stuff. I like our client stuff. I'm out.
I think we have like a few pockets a day where I know like I'm checking my DMs. I'm going in real quick, commenting, liking things. But it's usually like after I've started my like right before our huddle in the morning, usually a little time in the afternoon, and then usually at night when I'm just sitting there chilling. Like, it's 3 times that I'm normally on there checking our stuff. Yeah. And I have it pretty scheduled out. Like, I know my body, because I don't need to be on that shit all damn day.
Well, and I would say invest in the relationships that are physically around you guys, because on your deathbed, you're not going to want to scroll one more time on Instagram. No. You're going to want to look into the eyes of those that they're your loved ones around you and say goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, and there's like new science out there that relationships are one of the biggest directors to longevity of life. Like your pure relationships in your life. Who do you surround yourself with? Those kinds of things are really huge indicators now. They're saying that
and pets.
Yes.
And leg strength.
And lung capacity. we had this brief talk previously. Yeah. But, you know, so those are things that really help benefit your life. And then lead us into number 5.
Speak my reality into existence. Had to peek, sorry. So abracadabra, as I speak, I create. But what that really means, if we break it down, is what is the narrative going on in here? Because when you're a child, your biggest influence is your same-sex parent. When you're a teen and adolescent, it's your peer group. And when you're an adult and throughout your life, it's how you talk to yourself. Yeah. Is the biggest influencer. So, okay, cool. What do I do with that information? Well, what composes this narrative? What we consume in our mind, what we watch, what we read or don't read, and all that brain rot from doom scrolling, it starts to weave its way and compose and actually become the way that we talk to ourselves. So if you are not nice in there, then take a real quick examination of what you're taking in. Yeah.
Well, I remember when we listened to this, and he's talked about it before previously, like years ago, but there were studies that hit me kind of hard because he was talking about he took a female in her 30s who had younger sisters. I have a younger sister. We're about 11 years 10-ish years apart. So we have a pretty large gap. And he took the older women and he said, write down, what are the things you say to yourself? And they were all really nasty things. Like nobody was like, I love myself, or it was all pretty harsh in reality. And then he said, okay, would you say that to your little sister?
Ooh.
I would never say some of the things that I've said to myself, to my younger sister. I'd be like, what are you saying? Like, oh, I got something in my eye. It's like,
I could see the emotion.
Oh my God, no. I was like,
making me emotional.
I don't know. I was like, I don't want to start like fluttering my eye. But, and those are the things where I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. I would never say some of those things to my little sister. So why am I saying it to myself?
Yeah, I love what my wife told me one time. She's like, I had to tell my friend who was on a tirade to herself, hey, stop talking to my friend that way. Yeah. Right? About her friend, how she was talking to herself. Yeah. And she got like kind of bitch slapped into like, whoa, I am kind of beating myself up over here. She's like, look, you're doing the best you can. You're not perfect. No matter how hard you try, you're going to be flawed and human. That's part of the human condition. But you don't have to add like gas to the fire by beating yourself up inside.
No.
Give yourself some grace. Have the beginner's mindset, right?
Yeah, have the mindset of like, it's okay to fuck it up, figure it out. Like we're all doing, like you just said, we're all doing the best we can in this thing here called life. I love one of our clients post. I don't know if you saw Alyssa's post the other day with her daughter. Her daughter like picked a flower out of some lady's pot, and the lady was like, pay better attention to your kid. And she just looked at her and was like, I'm doing the best I can here. Like I have a client I'm trying to deal with right now. I got a fire blowing up. My one daughter's fine. Sorry, they're picking flowers, and she accidentally picked a flower out of your pot. Like doing the best I can. And she was like, I'm not going to take that personally. Like obviously that lady's in her own way and she's having her own day. Like,
you know what, Alyssa's learned the value of let them. Like,
yes,
let her be crazy.
Let her be crazy. She's like, I'm doing the best I can here. I got 2 crazy ass daughters. I'm trying to deal with a client. I took him out to the park to get some like fresh air. Yeah. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So I think that's where we come into like the things we're saying to ourselves, the things that when we're like, oh, why are we always like this? Or why is this always happening? If we can start changing that narrative just a little bit and asking
who
those
can
better
help
questions.
me? Well, how can I learn this better? How can I get leverage on this? Who can I go to support me? Like, ask better questions, and the brain will provide you answers. And the reason we talk about the 5 habits on how to make your life better is because we are on the other side of the camera with you as students. It's like we don't have anything figured out. We are very much in the flow of learning all this right alongside all of you. So let's learn it together.
Yeah. It helps us get better when we talk about it more, because then we realize like, ooh, we have a little gap there, or we could tweak that. So it always helps us get better too.
Exactamundo. So we're all in this together. So hit us up with any New Year's resolutions, any questions about the habits.
2026 goals. We're here to help. We'd love to sit down with you guys and start goal planning with that. So that's what we're here for.
Alrighty, guys. Until next time, I'm Ryan.
I'm Haley.
Have a good one. Bye.